And obviously the purpose of tonight's training is to go through social media, okay? And how you're going to go ahead and start to build your business online, okay? If some of you are in launch mode, you've probably made your list. You might have done, a Zoom with your mentor, starting to bring in people that you know. But the fact of the matter is, you will never get rich through the people you know. They are a good way to start your business. If some of your friends catch the vision, I'm super happy for you. If some of your family catch the vision, I'm super happy for you. So I see Saf and Samir, and I'm so jealous because I love that they're building this business together. But 99% of the time, that's not the case. It is not the case. Your business, if you're going to scale it to six figures, seven figures, it is only going to happen through cold market and through social media. Okay. And I went back into my stories um, because my TikTok has allowed me, okay, and I did this in May in my stories, right? I had to go back and check, right? And this was from one viral video in particular. I went viral sometime kind of like mid-March, and that video got over 75K views, okay? And even months after, I'm still getting DMs from that TikTok. Okay, but that particular TikTok, right, brought me in customers in over 16. Okay, now it's over 16 because since May, I just signed up someone in Tanzania on Monday. Okay, but 16 countries just from my personal enrollments. Okay, from people I have personally signed up in 16 different countries. There is no way you're going to do that without social media. There is no way. And one of our mentors, Zane Khan, okay, in our very first company, I heard him speak in a training, and one of the things that stuck out to me in that training, he said, if you want to scale to a seven-figure business, your company has to have teams in international markets. You may get to six figures in a local market. Okay. In the UK, there's definitely icons right now that have got to directors right now who've gotten to six figures with their local market in the UK. But you will never, ever scale to six figures unless you have markets in other countries. Okay. So it's time to definitely, start scaling. Um, my TikToks in particular seem to go all over the place. I don't know if it's because of my accent, but like I've gone viral and I look and I've got loads of countries in Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the US, UK. I've got so many different countries where I'm getting views, okay? But that's the only way you're going to scale. Okay, so I just wanted to start off by saying that. Okay, and so hopefully you're not just so focused on your friends, you're not so focused on people in your city. Definitely a great place to start, but it's time to start thinking bigger. Okay, part of your affirmations, part of your goals should be about growing teams worldwide. Some of my goals are about ranks and teams that I want to develop in certain countries, right? So one of my goals by the end of the year is to have a 2K in Canada, to have a 2K in the US, because those are countries that I'm going to be traveling back and forth in between. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Okay, first and foremost, now this applies to all of your social media. So key goals for a good social profile. So whether you are obviously you have to build on Instagram and TikTok. Okay, but I know Caroline gets really good success with Facebook. I know there's other leaders who have good success with Snapchat. Okay, whatever the social media platform, there's kind of three things that you need to be able to tick, right? If you go through and you critique your own profiles, okay, number one, do people know who you are? Okay, so first and foremost, and why I edited this presentation and I just realized I missed something. Okay, so first and foremost, okay, people are not buying a subscription to Jifu. People are buying into you, right? If they've seen your TikTok, out of all the TikToks there are on, if you scroll through TikTok, you can't whack a stick for someone trying to sell something, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's a digital marketing course, whether it's whatever. Everyone's on there trying to sell. Okay, so people aren't coming to you thinking, oh, I really, really want to be in Jifu. They don't give a toss about Jifu. They don't know what Jifu is. Okay, but they'll see who you are. Okay, and when I go onto your profile, I should know things about you. Okay, I should know things that you value. I should know things that you're interested in. I should be able to see the type of person you are, right? If I go onto Hugo's profile, okay, I'm going to know exactly the type of guy he is, right? Right in his bio is his faith and entrepreneurship. If you read any of his captions, okay, it's going to mention his faith. It's going to mention God. They're going to see the type of value that he holds, right? Same thing with Zalema. Okay, so if you go onto everyone's profiles, I should get a sense of who you are. Okay, if you look at my profile now, all of my top pictures are to do with my son. Obviously, I have, my pregnancy pictures. Okay, and in my captions, I'm talking a lot about the freedom that this, life entrepreneurship gives me now that I have my son. Okay, so people should know a bit about who you are. They should see your personality. Number two, your profile should look good enough that people want to be like you. Okay, social media is an escape for people. So they're only going to like and follow your stuff if they're attracted to what they see, right? That's facts. Elijah. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you guys can't hear that, but it's like a drill. He's playing with something. Um, but they're only going to follow people and like posts for things that they want. Okay. So your posts need to attract people. Okay. You can't, what's the saying? You can't sell a dream looking like a nightmare, right? We are in the business of making people money. Like trading, what we do, everything we talk about in our business, it revolves around money. So if someone comes on your profile and it doesn't look like you have two pennies to rub together, it's obviously not a good look for your business. Okay. And lastly, you want to attract your target audience. When you're posting, don't just post for the sake of it. Post what you want to attract to yourself, but also the audience you're going to attract. Okay. So, for example, right, well, number one, what type of people do you want to work with? Okay. What type of values are they going to have? Okay. It's not going to be likely that I may attract like a 20-year-old in the UK, a male 20-year-old in the UK, for example, right? I'm the complete opposite. I'm a female. I'm on the other side of the world. I'm a mom, right? I'm a, mid 30s, let's say. Okay. So you have to cater for, your audience, right? My audience now, I'm starting to create content specifically for moms, the daily life of a mom trader. That's going to be some content that I start to push out. So you need to think about who are your people? Who are the people that you want to attract into your business? If you're on your feed and you're working hard, you're in the office, you're taking trades, you're setting people up in your business, the goal would be you're going to attract people that want to do the same. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Okay, secondly, in order to achieve this, in order to build a good social profile, okay, the keyword on here is consistency. You can't go hard for a week and then stop for a week and then go hard for a week and then stop for a week. It's not going to build any sort of consistency and you're not going to gain followers, right? So first and foremost, you need to have a consistent presence. So to gain a following, start building trust and showing people who you are. And I would say this is your action. If you haven't taken notes up to this point, especially in this 90-day run, this is your DMOs. DMOs stands for Daily Method of Operations. This is what you should be doing every single day. So number one, 7 to 10 stories on your Instagram per day. 7 to 10. This should be not just all business. Don't just like put a screenshot of MetaTrader 5 in every single story. Okay, this should be a mixture of lifestyle, what you do on a day-to-day basis. Your stories is where people get to know who you are as a person. Okay, so again, I'm going to use myself as an example, right? In my stories, I'm putting things like, I don't know, waking up with my morning coffee and Elijah's playing on the floor and I've got a trade running, right? It's going to be like making him breakfast, like mom things. Okay. When I wasn't a mom, it would be like me going into the office, going for dinner, going for lunch, meeting the team, whatever the case may be. Okay. Especially those of you who have a team that you're around all of the time. I should be seeing on your stories every single day, you going into the office, you going for lunch with the team, you trading with the team, right? There should be no reason why any of you who have a team in your city don't have 7 to 10 stories per day, right? Sometimes I struggle because today I went to Costco, like there's only so much exciting things you can post about Costco. Okay, but you need to find ways, okay, to mix your lifestyle, what you do on a day-to-day basis with business, but also give value. Because again, there's thousands of affiliates in GFood. So what's going to make someone pick you over somebody else in this call? Right? There's multiple affiliates on this call. We're all marketing on the same platform. Why are they going to choose me over, I don't know, SAF? Okay, it's going to be who they resonate with. It's going to be where they can see value, where they think they're going to fit in, and where they think they're going to grow. Number two, you should have 10 new posts on your feed per month, especially if you are new and you don't have, like, if you're somebody on this call right now who only maybe has like a couple hundred followers on Instagram, right? Your Instagram's quite small. Mine's still not even that big. I only have like 2.5K, right? But if you only have like a couple hundred people on your Instagram, you need to be so intentional with posting on your Instagram this month. Seriously, 10 posts minimum on your feed. Okay. And I'm going to show you examples of what that should look like in a second. Okay. And I put there, ensure your captions have meaning, right? Don't just put a picture and be like, oh, throwback Thursday or, something that has no, kind of value. Bells is a great person to, look at his captions if you want to see the type of things that he's been posting. And he's been doing this for years, right? Hugo as well. Okay, for years, the value is in the caption. Okay, and then I put for the serious, but not even for the serious. If you're doing this 90-day run, one reel per day. Because the reels, it's what's going to accelerate your growth. Okay, if you post a picture on your feed, the only people who are seeing that picture is people who are already following you. So if you've got 200 followers, you're only going to have probably like 20, 25 likes at most on your pictures. If you post a reel per day, that reel is getting pushed out to, loads of other Instagram people. Okay. So that's how you're actually going to gain followers, okay, is by posting a reel per day. Okay, and then for TikTok, very simple. You are posting 3 times per day. Hugo went through this on the 90-day run call. Okay, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at nighttime. Especially if you're working a 9 to 5, this is going to be the easiest thing for you to stick to. Work it into your schedule. Okay, I used to post on the bus to work, right? That was when I posted in the morning. So I was posting the same time every single day, right? When I had my lunch break, that's when I would post my one in the afternoon. And then when I got home at night, I would usually post by like 8 p.m. So again, the algorithm sees your habits. If you're posting the same time every single day, right? Monday to Friday, try and do the same on a Saturday, Sunday. You might not want to get up as early on a Saturday, Sunday. Okay. But do the same thing every day. It's going to help you build habits. Okay. Number two, consistent branding. And this is, goes back to what I was saying. Don't just like post any old thing. Okay. Every time you post, it should be for a purpose, sorry. So you are constantly building your brand and your credibility. Okay. Please, please do not have a MetaTrader 5 screenshot as something that I can see on your feed. Please, I beg of you. There can be one in a reel that you've added in when you're explaining something, but do not just put like a MetaTrader 5 screenshot anywhere on your feed. You're losing credibility straight away. Okay, you're building a brand. Again, they're buying into you, and this brand should get better and better and better over time. Okay. Again, if you look at Hugo's Instagram from like 5 years ago, yes, he was posting in the same way, but it's gotten better and better over time because obviously the income has gotten higher and higher over time. Now he's got a camera guy who follows him around Canary Wharf. Okay. Same with Bells, right? He's been posting consistently building his brand since I have known him, and it has gotten better and better over time. And what does that show? That shows if you partner up with people of that quality, you're only going to get better and better over time. If I come into your Instagram and I see pictures that are blurry, I see that you look a mess. Like, let's say girls, right? We're going to use females as an example, right? You've got no makeup on, looks like you haven't brushed your hair, like you're in your pajamas, right? That's maybe an extreme example, but why am I going to sign up to you? You're telling me you make 6 figures, but you know, that's how your Instagram's looking. It's not going to happen. Okay? And you need to decide what you want your brand to communicate. Right? So again, I put myself, right? Mine, especially since I quit my teaching job, was all about the time freedom that this business gave me. Okay? So when you look on mine again, pre Elijah, not even just pre Elijah, because even with Elijah, he's been to Florida, he's been to London, we're going back to St. Louis. So you know, my 8-month-old baby has traveled more than most adults already this year, and he's only, you know, 8 months old. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to communicate through my Instagram. So you need to decide what you are. Okay, and lastly, be intentional. Creating content at the beginning is going to seem overwhelming because that's how I felt. I felt like, you know, you go out with your friends and you've always got your phone, you know, and you know, especially if they're not in this business. If your friends are not in this business, you just need to get used to people looking at you funny. Because like, you know, do not go to a restaurant without taking videos of the food. If you go somewhere nice, you should be taking videos. That should be going on your story. You can use that for B-roll content, you know, for a Instagram reel. You have to become intentional. Wherever you travel, wherever you conduct business, wherever you go, whenever you go out is an opportunity for content. Okay? Guys, you are in the business now where content is absolutely essential. Okay, so my ladies, if you spend an hour getting dressed up, your makeup's done, your hair's done, and you step out that door, if you don't take a picture, you've just wasted opportunity for content, right? Same thing for the guys. You might not have taken as long to get ready, but if you step out and you're looking fresh, you got a fresh trim, and you don't take a piece of content, you've missed an opportunity. Okay, this has to become your lifestyle now. This has to become part of your day today. Okay, so setting up your TikTok bio. So we're gonna go through literally step by step how to set up your TikTok if you haven't done so already. I'm just gonna do this super quick because I know some people have already started. Okay, but first and foremost should be a clear photo, a clear recent photo. Okay, go on Canva, remove the background. Okay, it's not hard. You're then the focus. Okay, don't have a busy background. Don't have a picture with like your friends in it. Don't have a picture with your dog, whatever the case may be, a clear professional photo. Okay, it should have your name somewhere. Okay, TikTok is not as important. Okay, but Instagram, it 100% is. Okay, have some sort of like tagline or your goal, what makes you qualified, and a call to action. Again, TikTok can be you don't have as much room in TikTok as you do on Instagram. Okay, so let's say Bell's is, for example, helping 100 people become millionaires, DM premium on IG, and then he has his IG link, right? Very simple. Okay, Sammy's, it's got her Instagram. Let's connect and help you achieve your goals. And then she has a link tree. Have some sort of link that's going to allow them to get to you quickly, whether it's a WhatsApp chat, whether it's direct link to your Instagram, whether you have, you know, a link tree or a Beacons AI, whatever the case is, they need to be able to get to you quickly. Okay, that's the goal. Now, before posting, okay, so if you haven't started posting yet, okay, this is what you want to do. First and foremost, watch the social media tutorials on the Mastermind portal. Okay, because I'm not going to go through the nitty gritty today on like how to edit, how to do all of that stuff. Okay, especially if you're new and you don't really know how to use TikTok all that well, go through those tutorials first. Okay, choose an aesthetic and stick with it. Okay, this part, even though TikTok doesn't care as much what it looks like. Okay, Instagram, I'm going to go through that in a second. You definitely need to be very clean, very polished. TikTok doesn't care as much, but when I still go on your profile, it should still look like you've been intentional with how you have set out your TikTok, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, captions, pick one caption font that you're going to use and stick with it. I don't want to go on your TikToks and one day it's the red flashing thing and the other day it's another font and the other day it's another one. Just pick one. Okay? The sticker that you put or the I always forget what it's called, but that titles your TikTok. So if I go to someone's profile, it has like that little title on it. Pick one and stick with it. Okay? There's like a little white one, there's like a black one, there's a blue one, whatever it is, pick one and stick with it. Okay? Decide on your story. Okay, your story is a catchphrase. So what do I mean by that? Okay, and I'm going to explain it in this second one. Okay, every video you create should follow the same or similar. Okay, you can kind of mix and match once you get a bit more confident. It should follow this same format. Okay, first thing should be a hook. Okay, on TikTok, if you want to go viral, people need to watch past the first like 3 to 5 seconds. If they don't watch past that and they just and they just scroll on, then you're not going to go viral. What TikTok does when you first post, it puts it on the For You page and it's testing it out with like 100, 200 people to see what the engagement is like. Okay, with those first 100, 200 people, if they have come across your video and obviously the hook didn't get them and they just scrolled past, they haven't liked, they haven't saved, they haven't copied your link, then you're not going to go viral. Okay, so the very first few words that come out of your mouth needs to hook them in. Okay, and there's a lot of common ones that we use that you can rinse and repeat. Like if you're not making $50 to $100 a day from your phone, you cannot afford to skip past this video. Okay, if I was down to my last $200, this is exactly what I would do with it. If you're not making money from your phone in 2025, genuinely don't know what you're doing. Okay, something you can do something that provokes, you can do something that's a pain point, right? If you don't have at least $3,000 sitting in your bank account, you cannot afford to skip past this video. You know, whatever the case may be. Okay, so hook. Then you want to quickly tell your story. Okay, so your story as a catchphrase. Okay, there's someone in our team, well, she's not in our team anymore. Okay, but hers was, you know, hi, my name is so and so. I went from homeless to six figures in 2 years, right? She says her name, actually said how old we are. I'm 22 years old. I went from homeless to six figures in 2 years. Okay, it says her name, how old she is, and basically an achievement she has. Okay, so mine could be, hi, my name is Shannon. I'm 36 years old. I used to be a teacher, turned trader and networker. Now I'm a retired at the age of 35, and I teach people how to do the exact same thing. Introduces who I am, how old I am, okay, the value that I could bring, okay, and that's what you want to aim to do. So in like 5 seconds, who are you? Why should they keep listening? Right? What value are you going to provide? What makes you qualified? Okay. Now, if you're quite early on in your journey, okay, you don't make stuff up. Okay. But think about how you could turn what you've accomplished so far, okay, into a story. And it could be something like, you know, my name is Saf. I'm 20 years old. Whatever. I've turned my phone into an ATM. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. So you start with your hook, you start with your story. This is going to be the first like 10 seconds of your video. And then you come in with the value. So what is your video actually going to be covering? Right? Or if you're talking about compound trading, it could be explaining exactly what compounding is, right? Compounding is simply you doing the same action every single day, growing it by 2%, taking that into the next day, then growing it by 2%, and then taking it into the next day. You'll be surprised how many people don't know what compounding is. Okay, the value could be showing them how to copy and paste numbers from the notification into MetaTrader 5. The more value you give and the more you teach people in that 2 minute span, the more DMs you're going to get. I've had so many people who have DM'd me, whether they joined or not, who said, I've come across copy trading or I've come across Forex or I've come across so many people, but I understood what you were saying in your video. I learned from your video. I've had so many people say that to me. People tell me that they could see that I was a teacher because I break stuff down. So try as much as possible to really explain to people what it is that we do in that short period of time. Okay. And then lastly is your close. So this is where you send them to your DMs on Instagram. Okay. DM me copy on IG at the Shannon Hughes so I can hook you up or so I can get you started or if you want more information. Every single TikTok you post should follow that same format. Okay. Once you get used to it, you obviously might mix and match. You're going to put your own style. It should have your own personality, but that's what should be happening in every single TikTok. Okay. Highly suggest before you start posting, be ready to bulk make first. Okay. So create a bulk making schedule. I would say 2 to 3 hours a week. Know a day where you're not busy and you're going to have a good 2 to 3 hours, and then you can sit and bulk make the majority of your TikToks in one day. Because again, if you're going about it day to day and you have the pressure of, okay, I need to make 3 TikToks so I can post, and you're doing it like one at a time, you're going to hate it. You will. Okay. So 7 days a week, 3 times a day is 21 TikToks that you need to bulk make. Okay. The reason why I say you should do this before, well, you're obviously going to create your account, but you want to bulk as quickly as possible and start posting as quickly as possible. TikTok favors new content creators. So you don't want to open a TikTok, post one video, and then don't post again for a couple days because you need to bulk your content, and then post one, and then 2 weeks later you start becoming consistent, right? You want to like be able to attack it right from the jump. Okay. And then lastly, save up viral videos and videos that are performing well to duplicate. What I highly suggest you do within your own like affiliate groups, obviously we have the wider affiliate group, okay? But if you come across someone in Mastermind, doesn't have to be in our team, who has a very viral video, you can see it's performing well, share it with each other, right? I did this in our 2K group, I think like last week, right? It was a 5K in Mastermind who had gotten like over 100K views on a very simple video. And I said, guys, like I'm gonna go duplicate this. Okay, so if you see a video going viral, make sure you're saving them so you have something else that you can duplicate. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, tips for posting. Again, I'm not going to go through this too heavy because Hugo did talk about this on this 90-day, but what can you exactly be posting on TikTok? Okay, I put, at least 2 talking videos per day. Your third could be like a funny or trending one that you link to trading, or like a carousel, for example, that you link to trading. So I've done a couple where I've just been like, I needed one more and I didn't have a draft, like what is copy trading? And then it's just like a simple carousel, but at least 2 per day should be talking videos, because the talking videos are what get you the DMs, right? When I say talking videos, I mean like, if you're not making $50 to $100 a day, so on and so forth. Okay, talking videos give value. So the more value you give, the more messages you're going to get. Okay, topics you could cover. You might want to take a screenshot, but like anything that's going to show people what we do and show results. Okay, so compound trading, this one, honestly, it's probably the easiest way to go viral, like some of these compounding examples, because it provokes people. Like when you tell people like your goal is going to be to grow 2% per day, the amount of hate comments you're going to get, and the people who are going to call you like all names under the sun, they're going to tell you you're not realistic, they're going to call you so many things. Okay, that's actually a really good one. I do at least a compounding video every single day because it gets views, right? It gets you views, it gets you DMs, good and bad, right? Negative comments, don't delete them. Okay, and I'm going to go through that in a second as well. Okay, go through copy paste trading, any of the products, right? So if you want to explain what Trendwave is, how simple it is to take a trade on Trendwave, explain the entry, these are the exits, whatever the case may be. Okay, the Jifu Connect app. Okay, there's a really viral one that had gone around about, having 2 money-making apps on your phone, MetaTrader 5, Jifu Connect, so on and so forth. If you've not seen that one, I'll drop the super viral one into the affiliate group. Okay, go duplicate it. Okay. Live sessions. Don't just put like a screen recording of live sessions. Like I took one today of our live session that I'm going to turn into a TikTok. I'm going to explain how easy it is to copy experts on a live session. I'm going to put our screen recording, and then I'm going to say, if you want to get access to these kind of sessions, message me on Instagram. Okay. If you want to do the affiliate marketing side, right? Like particularly targeting people who want to build a business. Okay. How to take a trade. There's so many things. Customer testimonials is another really good one. Just make sure if you're taking screenshots of the group chat, never share someone's phone number. Okay. Number one, for privacy, but also it's actually a really big no-no from the FTC. Right? So you know how in our group chat, a lot of people scroll, like you'll want to do a screen recording and you want to show results. Don't do it. Because if it shows a phone number and the FTC, it's against compliance. Okay. So just make sure you crop out, or put something, I don't know, an X through their phone number. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know I'm going really quickly and I am going to go through examples, but these are just kind of like tips that you kind of need, okay? So, when you're posting, okay? So this is when you actually post a TikTok before you post it. So when you're editing, number one, must have captions, okay? Don't post a TikTok without captions. Okay, it's just something that people can, number one, read through. It keeps their attention longer. If you talk, like I talk really fast, so for me, having the captions there is probably better, if I'm talking quite quickly. Make sure your TikTok has no dead time. Okay, edit out any and all pauses, right? So when we're talking, like I mean, I was exaggerating that a bit, but we naturally pause when we finish a sentence. That pause should be cut out. As soon as your mouth closes, before you then start the next sentence, that like half a second or a second should be edited out. Okay, why? 2025, people's attention spans are very, very small, right? You might speak for 30 seconds and like 7 seconds of that is just wasted time. So just cut it out. Okay, especially when your videos get longer because you're explaining, maybe how to copy paste trade, you're kind of showing some results. If you have a TikTok that's like 3 minutes long, you probably have 30 seconds of dead time that you can get rid of. Okay, so that part is super, super important. Okay, I've already said this, have your hook in your story in the first 10 seconds. Always record and edit in TikTok, right? I know some, if you're fond of CapCut, fine. Okay, but to me, it just makes logical business sense for TikTok for people to use their app. They want good TikTok users. Okay, so recording in TikTok, editing in TikTok means you're spending more time in TikTok. So, more chance of you going viral because you're a good TikTok user. Just like if you're posting videos, but you're not actually going through your For You page and engaging, the harder time you're going to have going viral. Like if you're literally just coming to TikTok to record your videos and post your content and you don't engage with other people's posts, you're going to have a hard time going viral. Right? You want to engage with other people's content. Go to your For You page. Just spend 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes a day, scroll through, like, save, favorite people's videos, comment here and there. Be a good TikTok user. Okay, utilize TikTok features. So in your videos, don't just like always record the same way. Make sure to utilize green screens. Okay, if you've added a screen recording, do voiceovers, use their stickers, use overlays, right? Try and use features, okay, on a like constant basis. Don't have the same thing over and over again. Okay, and always, always end with a call to action. Okay, DM me, whatever on IG at the Shannon Hughes. Okay. I also put this in my captions as well. Okay. Because TikTok generates you leads, IG is what's going to close them. Okay. You don't really want people messaging you on TikTok. Okay. People are going to anyways, because not everybody has Instagram. If someone messages you on TikTok, don't just ignore them. Okay. But especially if you go viral, okay, as someone who's gone viral, TikTok DMs are messy. Like they're messy. It's very hard like to keep on top of them, right? But also like if someone wants like comments and they want you to DM them, you got to follow them and if they don't have a public profile, it's a pain in the ass, right? But also Instagram, if you've built yourself up a good brand, like if I were to go to like Hugo's page right now, right? And I've just seen a TikTok where he says like you can make $100 a day from my phone. I go to his TikTok, I'm gonna look or no, sorry, his Instagram. I'm gonna say, okay, yeah, this guy looks like he makes $100 a day at least. I should say at least. Right? So your Instagram should do most of the closing for you. Like before they've even spoken to you and sent you a DM, guaranteed they've at least had a little cursory look through your page. They probably like looked through your stories, right? So before they even message you, they probably already got a sense that you are who you say you are. Okay? Use your hands in your videos. Okay, I've actually, I've seen so many TikTok influencers who do talk about this, but I'm going to show you one of my viral videos And I really do believe it's just because I did have things in my hands. Now, for those of you who do know who Christina is, she is famous for this. Anastasia, she's someone I'm going to show you her Instagram profile, but she like is a clone of Christina. And you can tell through how big her following has got in her consistency. But there's something about like it drawing the people's eyes, like having things in your hand, like just randomly like playing with like a, what's this called? Um, what the heck is this thing called? Um, oh my God, my brain. Guys, help me. A tripod. Oh my gosh, that was rough. Okay, a tripod is what I was trying to say. Right? Just having like randomly eating food. Okay. Have things in your hands, not all the time. You don't want to force it and just have loads of things, but definitely talk with your hands, right? One of our mentors in our previous company, who actually kind of taught us all about social media, she said something like psychologically, it's about like you looking warm to people, like inviting. Like if you're talking with your hands, it's like inviting people in. Okay, and the last one I've put, because we get this question a lot, should you use hashtags or not use hashtags? I would say whatever you decide to do, just stick with it. Okay. I have never personally used hashtags. I know Bells, when he first started posting, has never used hashtags. Okay. It's a way to like not niche yourself down. But if you do use hashtags, then just stick with the same format. So if you post like 5 or 6 per TikTok, stick with that same thing. And yeah, right? You decide. You decide. All right. So what are you actually going to post? Okay. And I've given oh, let me pause those. Okay. Um, so I'm just going to show you 2 of mine that have gone. One had like 75K, the other one had like over 50K. Um, but one is a response to the other. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, I did a compounding one. Um, it went viral first. Okay. Had a lot of negative comments, but also had a lot of people saying, show me how. You're going to see that a lot. How do you do this? How, like that question comes up all the time, even in videos that don't go viral. I've got one that I'm going to respond to later today. I think the video only has like, I think it has like 2K views, but a lot of people responding, how do I do this? So do a video response. Like that's another way for you to get into your TikToks. Okay. But before I do that, okay, please put disclaimers on every single video. Okay. I put it really, really small at the bottom of my video. Okay. I also put it in my captions. Okay. I am someone, I've actually had an email from GFU Compliance. Okay. If you get 3 emails from them, as in 3, like the third time, they remove your affiliate account. It doesn't matter. Like if you're like Chris, you're a blue diamond. If you break compliance 3 times, your account is deleted, right? That's your income gone. Okay. So number one, just for your own sake, you need to take compliance very seriously, but for the company's sake, we need to take compliance very seriously, right? If we have loads and loads of people, like customers, going and complaining, filing complaints to the FTC saying we're a scam and we're misleading, and we say, we guarantee income and this, that, and the other, if cases and cases and cases of those build up, it's really bad for the company. Okay, so first and foremost, I just went right before this call, I went to ChatGPT and I just put, what disclaimers should I put if I'm promoting trading? That's it. Okay. And I pretty much put the same disclaimer most times, depending what's in my video. Okay. But you could put, there's a risk warning. So if you're talking about copy trading, for example, trading involves risk. It is not suitable for everyone. You may lose your initial investment. Never trade with money you can't afford to lose. Okay. Or you could just put past performance, like trading. I put trading involves risk. Results are not guaranteed. Okay. So I put the down here, results are not typical, right? Trading success depends on many factors, blah, blah. Any of these. Okay. You don't have to put all of them, but there needs to be some sort of disclaimer. If I'm talking about the affiliate side, we actually just got an email from compliance telling us what to put, right? It's something like results are not, or income is not guaranteed. It factors like hard work, whatever plays into it. Okay. So if you're saying like if you want an extra 2K a month, let's say for the rank on the business side, or an extra if you want to become a director, 10K a month, there can't be any income claims at all. So you can't say anything like you're going to make an extra 5,000 a month if you listen to what I say, right? There can't be any sort of guarantee. Okay, so just please make sure, okay, at the bottom of your video, you can put it, like I've just put it at the bottom of all of my videos, but I also put it into my captions. Okay, so let's watch this one really quickly. This was the one that went viral first. This was the compounding one. And I personally think the reason this one went viral was because I'm feeding Elijah, and I had comments about like his hand, that people didn't think his hand was real, and someone commented about him having a straw in his baby bottle, like as if I wasn't safe, which obviously it isn't. Okay, but just very quickly. Trading account of $100, and you were to compound it just 2% per day for a year, you would turn that $100 into over $17,000. Now, if you decided, you know what, I'm not going to touch that. Okay, we're not going to watch the whole thing. Okay, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But I don't know if you guys saw at the bottom, there's the disclaimer. I'm going to put that 17,000 back into that account, and I'm going to continue compounding. You might not be able to see it there, okay? 2% per day. You don't have to put this massive thing, okay? But the disclaimer is down at the bottom, okay? The reason why I also wanted to show this one, right, especially because it did go viral, is for TikTok, like, don't be stressing that your hair is not perfect, that your makeup's not done. Like, TikTok really doesn't care what you look like. Like, it really doesn't. Like, I was sat in my bed feeding Elijah. I had just woken up. To be honest, I don't wear, like, ever since I become a mom, I don't wear makeup much anyways, okay? But like not a stitch of makeup on, my hair is in plaits. Like, you don't have to, TikTok doesn't care if you look perfect. Okay? So that one, and that very much showed like the reality of my day-to-day life. I'm sitting feeding my baby, right? But then in the comments of that one, I saw it was performing well. Okay, it was starting to get a lot of likes. I was starting to get a lot of comments. Okay, so someone commented and asked how. So I then did a response. Okay, and I'm going to show you very quickly. $100 to over $3 million just by compounding 2% per day. Julian and Tony, I got you. I'm going to show you the simplest way I have found in order to. So at the beginning, right, please, I still did a hook. So how are you going to turn $200 into over $13 million or whatever the case was? Because if they didn't see my first video, which most of the people aren't going to have seen this, right? This is going to the For You page. Most people wouldn't have seen this. So you still want a hook. And then I went on to respond. Again, I'm not going to show this whole thing, but this video then went even more viral than the first one. Okay, the first one I think now is on like 55K views, but this one is over like 78K views. Okay, so if you see a video performing well, make sure you do responses. If you get negative comments, do responses. Okay, so if somebody tells you like, I don't know, trading is risky, like I've done a response to that before, and I've broke down, okay, you clearly don't know what trading is, and I've explained like things like this is what a lot size is whenever you take a trade. Obviously, I did it in a better way, okay, but I gave value. So someone who's coming across it and see trading is risky, they're gonna see, right, that obviously that I'm gonna prove to them it's not the case. Okay, so make sure you leave the hate comments. Okay, my gut when I first started posting was to delete them because I'm like, you know, in my head I was thinking, oh my God, what if somebody comes across this and they see that people think I'm a scammer? You know, whatever it is, leave them. Provoke, in fact, provoke them, right? In my comments, I try to provoke the negative people, right? Because if they keep commenting, that's just boosting your engagement. Okay, so very, very quickly. Okay, I just want to quickly go through Instagram. I can't believe how fast. Guys, let me pause though before I go to Instagram. Are there any questions? Sorry, I didn't even see stuff in the chat box. Oh my gosh. Do you know what? I didn't even see. Sorry. Do you engage with others on TikTok? Oh, sorry, Caroline. I literally didn't see that ages ago. I'm sorry. But yes, absolutely. Absolutely engage with others on TikTok. Hopefully what I just said answers that. So even Caroline, I tried to help boost, tried like follow each other, right? I tried to help boost Caroline's engagement because there was a guy who commented something on her post that was just the stupidest thing I ever heard. So I'm like, let me just provoke this guy because then it could help Caroline, you know? But but yeah, definitely engage on TikTok. Engage with the hate comments, engage with the good comments. People actually love video responses. So I had a girl actually I just responded to, I did a video reply. She had asked what compounding is or something about what a broker is. So I actually did a video that explained if you're a beginner, the first thing you want to do is register for a broker and da 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 da. And I went through it. She personally messaged me and said, thanks so much for the response. So even if they don't sign up, it's helping your following. Like if that gained me a follower, and if she keeps following me, then maybe eventually she'll sign up, right? Always give value. So I mean, where they say engage with others' contents like the Go viral. Okay. I mean, again, I personally, if we think of it from a business standpoint and from TikTok standpoint, if you're coming on their app and you're not really using anything on their app, then why would they push your content out? That's just my thinking. Now, I've not like been in this game long enough to say I'm a TikTok expert, but I always make a point whenever I'm going to post, if I have my post like already edited and ready to go, like I make a point to, yeah, you do it daily. So I do too. And it might not be loads of time. It might be like 5 minutes one time, but then if I have more time, it might be 15 minutes. But I go on my For You page and I make sure to engage, right? And there's loads of things on TikTok, engage from the bottom up. So I do that. I copy the link, even if you don't send it anywhere. I favorite. I watch the whole video to the end. I'll leave a comment. Okay. So I'll try and do all of those things because then TikTok sees that you're an active member of their app. So yeah, I would highly suggest that. Okay, so let's quickly go over to Instagram. Okay, let's quickly go to Instagram. Instagram is a whole other training, but I'm just going to do a very big blitz. Are there any TikTok related questions before we take a quick look at Instagram? And again, this isn't going to be like anything super, super in depth, but any questions? Oopsies. No, no TikTok questions. All right, cool. So perfect. So let's quickly look at Instagram, okay? Because again, TikTok is what is going to generate your leads. But if you go viral on TikTok and then your Instagram is a mess, your closing rate is going to be very, very minimal. Okay, because you want them to come over to Instagram so you can close them. Okay, if they come to Instagram and you've got like 2 posts on your feed, you've got no stories, your bio pic is like, I don't know, a tree, like whatever, nobody's buying, nobody's subscribing to you. Okay, so this is why it's super important, especially, and it doesn't mean that you can't close people, especially if you're quite new to Instagram and you're not like, you've not been a social media person before starting this. I definitely wasn't. When I first started my first trading company, I purely opened an Instagram for this diet that I was doing so I could keep myself accountable to my diet consultant. So like I think to this day, if you scroll to the very, very bottom of my Instagram, you're gonna see pictures of the products that I was eating on a daily basis. Like that's why I started Instagram. And I think I had like 100 followers when I first started. Okay, so it's if you don't have to be have an amazing profile now, but if you genuinely want to be in this industry for 10 years to come, if you genuinely want to go director, in the next, not maybe not this 90-day run, but the next 90-day run, you have to start building your Instagram. You have to. So you need to start saying your affirmation. If you're somebody who says you're camera shy, stop saying it, right? You need to get that out of your vocabulary. You need to start saying affirmations that you're confident, that you love the camera, that you're whatever, okay? Because you have to start your Instagram. Okay, so first and foremost, very clear photo, obviously like Instagram. This Instagram should have your full name. Okay, so your at, okay, so mine is the Shannon Hughes. Okay, if your name isn't available, like I don't know, it's Shannon Hughes, or mine actually used to be Shanny Hughes, but Bells told me that was too childish, so I had to change it. So I did. Um, but yeah, it should be at least, your name, at least your first name, last name. Okay. Um, your tagline. Okay, so this doesn't show. Oh yeah, Shannon Hughes online income coach. Yeah, it shows it at the top. You can call yourself whatever you want. Okay. On TikTok, my TikTok now is like the traveling mompreneur. Guys, actually, let me get up my compliance thing because I had to change things in my bio because it wasn't compliant. Let me just quickly find. I should have put that on here. Um, Jifu compliance. Where's Mike? Let me find it, guys, because there's actually stuff in some people's things that are non-compliant that I've noticed, and I'll message you individually if that's the case. But let me just quickly tell you what they told me to change. So in my bio, okay, so they've put so the guarantee of making money or a six-figure income. Okay, so you can't even hashtags. Guys, if you use hashtags on your reels, you can't put hashtag online income, hashtag make money from your phone, hashtag six-figure income. You can't put those in your hashtags. My tagline was six figures and retired. That's what it was on TikTok. They made me change that. So I couldn't put, even though I had made six figures and I retired, like that's something I achieved, they made me change it. So anything to do with an income claim, even if it's like your personal like achievement, they made me change. Okay. They said I had to change, on my Instagram, they told me I had to update my bio, because I had actually, I think this was it. Okay, helping you create a six-figure income. This is actually my old bio. They told me to change it to something like want to build a business from your phone, right? So you're not making any sort of claim. Okay? So in your bio, okay, make sure it's compliant. Okay, nothing about income claims, nothing about like I'm gonna make money, make you make money for your phone or whatever. Okay, so actually I also had to change time freedom because apparently time freedom is also a sort of claim. Okay, so what does mine say now? I had to change that. I actually did put I thought I put a screenshot on here of my new one, but it's not there. Um, yeah, so mine now, oh yeah, I've changed it to the traveling mompreneur, and then I've put helping you build a business from your phone. So I've took out the six figures and you can't put time freedom. Okay. So yeah, just a couple of those things as well for your Instagram. Okay, what makes you qualified? Okay, so for mine, I think I've changed this as well, but first female mastermind icon in Europe. Okay, that was obviously from our previous company, but something I'm quite proud of. But something that you've achieved so far that makes you qualified. And you might not have hit, you might not have hit six figures yet. You might not have hit 5K yet. You don't have to, right? If you've helped even five people, right, make money and five people in this business, you've accomplished something. So you might not put a number, but you might put, help mentor people to whatever. Okay, whatever the case may be. Look at some of the other leaders as well, and you can see some of the things that they've put. Okay, but have some sort of call to action as well. Mine doesn't show it here because your bio expands, but I think I put like DM or click the link below to get in contact with me or whatever the case may be and have some sort of link. Okay, Linktree is a good one because you can have your other social profiles. You could have a link to your WhatsApp. You could have I have a longer business overview that I've done for Jifu. Okay, that's on my YouTube that I link people to. Okay, whatever the case may be. Okay, your highlight reels. Okay, you must have a what I do highlight reel. Okay, this is basically a mini company overview that you can send to prospects. Okay, because if you go viral on TikTok and you haven't done your what I do video, like, what are you going to do? Right? If you're getting, once 10 DMs, 20 DMs, do one-on-one presentations, get them on a presentation, maybe with your mentor, right? that's going to help you close. And if you can be more personal, it'll help you close. But if you're getting hundreds of DMs, like it's going to be impossible for you to do one-on-one calls with every single person. So you need to have your what I do video. But some people prefer not to even get on a Zoom call, right? There's two Canadian ladies that I signed, not last week, the week before. I had two ladies sign on the last day of our discount. Neither of them, I gave them the option. And this is what I do now. Okay, I put, would you prefer I send you a quick 5-minute video outlining what I do? Or would you rather do a Zoom and I'll take you through everything, talk about some of your goals, what do you want to achieve trading? Okay, both of those ladies said, please send me a 5-minute video. I sent them the video, they signed up. Then I got an onboarding call with them. But there's some people who I've done Zooms with who want the one-on-one call. We do the Zoom and then maybe they don't end up signing up. Okay, but you need to have the option there. I would also highly suggest having your own business overview as well. Like if someone wants more information, like have like a 10-15 minute business overview on YouTube that you've done as well. So if people want extra, if they want to see some stuff, you can send that to them too. Okay, guys, I'm almost done. Okay, because I know we're exactly an hour right now. I think I've crammed so much in. Okay, but I wanted to show just a couple other profiles as well, just so you can see, right? Obviously, I'm not just here making this up, right? This is what I've duplicated. Okay, so you can see Bells's clear photo in the background. Okay, his full name, Michael Bello. Okay, but also his Instagram is obviously Premium Bells. Okay, he has his tagline from Prison to Prosper. Okay, what makes him qualified? GoPro Hall of Fame. Okay, what does he do? Help beginners earn in the financial markets. Okay, and if you were to click more, there's a call to action. Okay, I don't know where I don't think he needs a what I do video at this point. Okay, it's not on his, but until you're making 100K a month, have a freaking what I do video. Okay. But you can see the similarities. If you go to any of the other leaders, you're going to see the similarities. Okay. Now, Instagram, when it comes to quality, right? This is where I said you can't, sell a dream looking like a nightmare. Okay. Your feed on Instagram needs to look the part, right? We are telling people we make money from our phone, right? Some of our TikToks are saying we make, $100 a day, $200 a day, 5K a month, 10K a month, whatever the case may be. If someone comes to your profile and it looks a disaster, they're not going to sign with you. It's going to discredit you immediately. Okay, now does that mean you need to be making 100K a month like Bells right now, 15K a month like Hugo right now? No, right? Put on a nice shirt, right? Brush your hair. Go to, I don't know, Canary Wharf and go to a coffee shop, right? You don't have to be doing, something expensive to look good, right? To look well put together. It doesn't have to be like that. Okay, so just wanted to give some examples, okay, of 3 different profiles. Obviously, you've got myself here, you've got Bells in the middle, and then you've got Hugo over on the right-hand side, okay? But you can see the quality and the intention put into each of these profiles. Nothing is just posted randomly, okay? And if you were to go into the captions of all of these, captions aren't just posted randomly. Okay, so what I highly suggest, especially if you're new, just make sure you're following a lot of the directors and above. Okay, so you can see the types of things that they post on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and I actually wanted to show you as well. Okay, if you're, because let's say if you're a female, right? My Instagram, okay, might not resonate with you. Okay, I'm a mom. I know some of you are like 20. I'm like over 15 years older than you. Okay, Anastasia is someone who, honestly, I respect this girl's work ethic so much. When she first joined the industry about 2 years ago in our previous company, I think she had like 3,000 followers on Instagram. Okay, in less than 2 years, she's grown that to over 13,000. And she is hands down in the entire mastermind team. She is the most consistent person on Instagram. Like, I can say that with full confidence because I look at a lot of people's profiles, I see what they're doing. Like, she is so freaking consistent. So, especially if you're a younger female, make sure you follow her. But even if you're a male, the way she posts her stories and the way she makes this business look like it is so much fun, like she's talking on her stories all the time, like if honestly, just follow her stories for like a week or two and you will feel like you know her. You will want to join her team. Like she makes this business look so fun that if I were you and I were her age, male or female, I would be duplicating everything that girl does, right? So yeah, I think I've cut off her profile. But and oh, it's there at Anastasia and whatever her last name is. It also looks like Anastasia but with a few extra letters. She's Greek. Okay. So guys, I'm not going to go through Instagram stories. I honestly just think we don't have time. We've gone 10 minutes over. Are there any questions? Okay. One last thing. There's a couple things just in terms of when you're posting your TikToks and when you're taking photos for Instagram. Okay. Obviously, Belle's and Hugo's posts here, they have professional cameramen. Okay. Mine don't. Okay. And a lot of people's Anastasia's don't. Okay. Not all of us, we don't have professionals who are taking pictures of us. Okay. But there's going to be some things that you can do to make your pictures look quality, right? Number one, okay. And if you have a Samsung, like throw it in the bin. You need an iPhone. Okay. First and foremost, you should have an iPhone for creating your content. Okay. I don't care if there's some Android lovers in the chat box, get a freaking iPhone. Okay. But number two, please, I beg of you. Okay. And I'm saying this, I'm gonna see, I want to see who's in the chat box here. Because there's been some people's there's been some people's TikToks that I've been looking at. Oh, some of them aren't on the call. I gotta make sure I share this recording. Buy a freaking ring light. Please buy a ring light. Okay, this little thing that clips onto your phone. You should not record a TikTok. I know TikTok doesn't care what you look like. Okay, but if your video is all blurred, if you're sitting in a dark room and I could hardly see you, or you're in an office booth, right? I know those offices, those WeWork offices, right? The lighting is crap. Please get a ring light. Please. It's like $20 on Amazon, okay? But also, right? If I just again, I'm not that I'm saying I have the best profile in the world, okay? But the majority of these pictures, apart from these Dubai ones, okay, because I actually did have a photographer there, okay, but these ones here, like towards the bottom, okay, I'm in Florida, okay, those ones in Vegas, ring light, okay? Ring light makes the quality so much better when someone's taking a photo of you. If you want something to post on your feed, just make sure they hold up the ring light. Okay. But also an app, I'm going to type it in the chat box called Remini. Okay. If you don't have a professional photographer, using a ring light and putting your photos, your favorite ones, through this app called Remini, it clears up any imperfections. It brightens your background. It's like a little AI tool that edits your photos for you. So all of my photos that are posted on my feed, they go through Remini first before I ever post. There's not been a single time in the last like year and a half since I've learned about this app that my photos do not go through Remini. Okay. So, guys, I'm going to stop there. I apologize. This went a little bit over, but are there any questions? Let me stop this recording.